My friend dropped these around the other day and only wants the seat covers replaced, not the backs because there's nothing wrong with them. Should be a relatively easy project, so let's get on with it. The first thing I'm going to do is unscrew the seat from the frame. This has little L brackets, so it's nice and easy. And there's just 4 of them. I have to swing the chair frame out so I can find the screws, but I'll put the screws in a little bag so I don't lose them. Now, before I remove anything, I'm going to put some staples in just to hold it. And 2 pins, one that end where the piping finishes, and one this end where the piping finishes or starts, whichever, like that. I'm going to make my way around, removing the staples from the black cloth, the piping, and also the seat cover. Not throwing the piping away, I'm going to be recovering it. It's the right length and also is a plastic, so it's a little bit more firmer than what I would be putting on. Now, when I put a round or any cover on, I usually go opposite directions. So the first I'm going to do is on this side. I'm going to just pull that in and secure it. When I look on this side, there's some marks which I want to get out where it was creased, and also I don't want to have any creases around the top here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat it up from here just a little bit. When I've done that, I'm going to push it all the way to the side like that so it comes in, and secure it. So now I've got opposites like north and south in place. Pull this over, pull it a little bit tight and secure it. And I'm going to heat from about here on over. Not too hot and not too long. Again, I'm going to get my hand, I'm going to push it over. It's going to move slightly, but not too much. I don't want to over pull it, and secure. And now this is when I come in midpoint. Instead of just pulling it in, I'm going to heat it and pull it in just a little bit. When I hold it on the back here, I'm not really pulling it, I'm just supporting it, but it's enough to bring that in just a little bit and secure. I'll go to the opposite side, and again I'm going to heat it and pull it over just a little bit until it's nice and smooth. And really pay attention to the top, because this is the part I want to go in quite smooth. Pull that over just slightly and again secure. And I'll do the same on either side here. Now these quarters might not be even, and that's fine, they don't have to be, but I'm going to put each section in, heating from about the midpoint up and then across the top to make sure that that comes in without any wrinkles. Pull it over slightly like that, secure in the centre, and then pull in sections. It's going to be slightly pleated underneath, but not too much. Done that, I'm going to do this little section. Actually, it doesn't need to be reheated, it's still quite warm, and secure. Do this section here, the same thing, warm it up, a little bit of stretch but not too much, and into place. Divide everything up into sections. Just looking to see where my screw mark is, which is there. I don't want to go over there, I want to be on this side. I have this section done, so I'm just going to cut that back so I can see where I am. Now this is the one where I need to be careful, so I'm only going to pull it here like I have, but I'm just going to make sure I'm about an inch in from the outside edge. By doing this, heating it up and pulling it, should pull most of those little marks out where the fabric had been folded. And I'm going to continue around the other side and finish this up. Most of the creases should come out. I think that's one of them. I'm going to have to be really careful with that. And there. So do this section and then the other sections to get it all done. Now I always put things on towels so that I can't damage the fabric, especially something like this. On this side I kind of overstretched it, which is why the stapler's gone in and the fabric tore. But once it went back to where it wanted to and I stapled it in, it was fine. That happens. That's why you shouldn't overstretch. but it's easily done. I'm going to hold that there, so I have at least 1/2 inch there for the end, and I'm going to just make sure it's straight all the way down to here, and I'm going to cut off that because I want the piece to go on that's about the right size. There we go, that'll do. I am going to unstitch this. I don't really want to cut the piping if I can help it. I'm going to go like that. It doesn't want to come undone. Pull that out and undo all of these stitches along here. You should be able to run it, with a bit of luck, just down those stitches to pull it out. Shouldn't take too long. Now this piping cord is more of a teardrop shape, so I'm going to try to keep that where it's narrowest is where the stitching goes. I'm bringing that down about 1/2 inch, slot that under here. It probably will want to twist, but I'm going to keep it as straight on as I can. This is on the longest stitch. I'm going to sew down, but I'm going to guide it through because I really don't want to be putting silicone on here because I don't want to damage the fabric. I'm going to make my way to the other end. Just finished off and the fabric did get pushed along, but that's okay. That will be hidden. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the end, which is here, where that pin is. I'll cut the threads off in a second. The stitching is more or less where the wood is. I'm going to make sure it's flat as I come around, and on this side I'm also going to lay the end of the piping where the pin is on the edge there, and again I'm going to secure it. Now I know where it starts, I know where it finishes, and I am going to bring the edge of the piping to the side of the base here, and I'm going to just staple it into position. Pull that round into place and keep it as even as possible and staple it into position. Bring this over at the same time and secure that too. As I go, I'm going to pull out any loose threads and cut those back. Because I didn't use silicone, some of the threads broke a few times before I was able to get all the way around. That sometimes happens, don't you know, just one of those things. If I used silicone it wouldn't have happened. Just want to make sure that comes all the way around. Yeah, it still does. Just check if you've got a specific length to put in. At the beginning or the end, whichever, just fold that back underneath so it's hidden and secure, and the same on the other side. Cut those back, and again I'll just bring that back underneath and secure, and then all I'm going to do is go on round so that everything's in place. The screw marks match up with the holes on the outside, which is important because I want those to be exactly where they should be. Actually, this is a bit of a bind because I really can't see very easily where I'm putting this, but I believe that one's there. I've got the screw hole and the bracket, but I need to bring the chair back so that I can get that one on there. I've got the first one lined up like that, so as I don't lose it, I'm just going to start screwing that one in. So I'm going to screw that one in, not all the way, but most of the way, and then lift this one up. Oh, actually, it's exactly where I need it to be. The other chair was awful. It took me several times to get exactly where I wanted it. Get this one in and the other two, and then I'll tighten them all up. Nice thing about having phones is there is always a torch. I'm actually very pleased with the way they've turned out. The fabric wasn't identical to the fabric on the backs, but I don't think that is going to be a problem. I think they've gone in really well, and I hope my friend's going to be pleased with them. If you want to see more from me, please subscribe, hit the bell button, and a few thumbs up would be brilliant. And in the meantime, take care, see you later, ciao.